Well, Warren, you've come down to town against a side that just beat the reigning premiers and champions 3-0, and you've got a 0-0 draw. Happy with the performance?
Yeah, look, overall, we're happy, but to be honest, we came in to take all three, as unfancied as we may have been going into the game, knowing they've come off a great result. But, I'm realistic about the opposition we faced today, and obviously they had control in moments of the game or good parts of it. But I don't think they bombarded our goal with many chances. And we had some great chances of our own and probably could have snuck a win in the end. We had a great header at the end, that free header for Nevs that just went wide.
It looked like you were doing a really good job of getting a lot of bodies in between their attacks and the goal, forcing them to have to create something that wasn't a moment in transition. Was that something you planned coming into this one?
It's just called hard work. It's hard, and if I'm honest, it's probably at times let us down this year with certain individuals, but the players we put out in the park today are able to do that for us. They're able to work hard for longer periods, and when they fatigue, we brought young players on, more mobile players to continue the good work and keep our defensive structure and just work hard. And tonight was great because we showed some real resilience.
Just on that note, especially with younger players in there, we've seen plenty of other teams get brought undone by a lapse of concentration or a late winner, especially against a team like Victory with all their weapons. How pleasing is it to see, I guess, that mental resilience side of it as well, to see out that full 90, especially dragged on? Yeah,
we, but there's no kidding ourselves. We're third last. And probably what you've just said is probably a valid point for the season we've had. Lapses in concentration. Not always by young players, but we've got a lot of young players this year that have had experience in the A-League. But I guess tonight shows that they're learning. Against a very, very good team that tested us, but we were disciplined and structured and concentrated for 90 minutes. And again, we didn't just sit back. We tried to go at them as well. We tried to press them high, and we tried to have our moments, and we did. But yeah, so overall, really pleased.
I mean, how do you now look at the rest of the season from a wider perspective? Because you can say mathematically finals are there, but it'd be very, very difficult. Do you just say, is it looking towards next year? Is it trying to make that last ditch run? How do you try and approach these last handful?
We just approach them like we have the last couple. We've gone out to win the last two games, come up short, but we picked up a point on the road in two very difficult games. We played a difficult game against Western Sydney on a really poor pitch the other day. Came down here, a great stadium, great team, great atmosphere. So we were tested, and our young boys were tested. We started Jez tonight, and again our young boys, Cyrus came on, and in an atmosphere which was great for their experience. And so if we get anything out of this next couple of matches, it's experience for our younger players. But we're not conceding anything. We're going to go out and try and win every game we play.
You mentioned before about it was a bit frustrating. Some players early in the season weren't putting in the effort compared to the group that you found now. How frustrating is that for you as a coach, that it's taken you to maybe to this point in the season to find a group of players that will get out there and give you everything every week?
Yeah, I think my message has been really clear to my group. I've been asking it, whether everyone has been getting the message. I don't know. Maybe they think they have. Our results probably are there for all to see. Like I said, we're not happy with where we're at. We want to be pushing and challenging for finals. We're not at this stage. But we found, we've been banging on about it, and we've been clear with our messaging. Those that want to work will play. Those that don't won't. And I think it's clear with the squad I picked, the people that travel. There's a lot of mobility, a lot of work rate, and a lot of desire to do well defensively for the team as well as do well with the ball, and that's critical for us as a club.
You mentioned obviously you guys had plenty of opportunities in this game to go up 1-0 and potentially get the winner. What do you put your inability to do that down to? Is that a lack of execution, fatigue? What aspect of the game were you missing in that regard?
It's what you've just said. I think lack of execution. I think the stats are there. I think if you look at the stats of the league, I think we're second or third in chance creation in the league. And I think Melbourne City and I'm not sure who else is ahead of us. They're in the top six. We're not. So we've got no problem creating chances. And I've been sat in these press conferences all season talking about how we're still creating chances and we're still in games and we don't really get turned over by sides by big score lines. Other than I think when we came down here for a same-day travel match it's round 2. We got turned over 3-0 by Victory, but circumstances around that. We're in every game. You know, for us, it's about now trying to convert and being more ruthless in front of the goal. And we speak about it as a group, and you know, we haven't found it this season, but that's up to us now as a staff and the club and the playing group to improve. You know, with what games we have left this season and going into next season.
Any injuries to come out tonight, or are you clean slate?
No, I think we're okay at this stage. You know, boys are going to be sore. We're, you know, lots of matches obviously, and we made changes tonight accordingly because of that, and we wanted to keep some boys fresh, and thought the ones that came in did well, and the ones that came on to impact the game did well, and hopefully we'll recover them now and we'll be okay for MacArthur on Friday.
MacArthur on Friday, I think it's the 3rd game of a road trip for your side. You expecting rotations in that game with those tired bodies, or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we will. I think we're going to need to. I think it's just too short a turnaround, and we understand why these matches need to be played and the league needs to finish by a certain time. But, you know, I don't think we can expect to put the same side out. Again, we'll need to make changes for this 3rd match. Cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.